Have you ever wondered what guides military actions during armed conflict, especially when difficult decisions must be made about targets and operations? In international humanitarian law, military necessity and military advantage are intrinsically linked concepts that work together to define lawful targets and conduct during hostilities. Military necessity provides the overarching justification for using force in war, while military advantage refines this by requiring that any attack must offer a concrete and direct benefit to military operations. The principle of military necessity allows states to use force to achieve legitimate military objectives, but it is not a blank check. It is always constrained by humanitarian considerations and other international humanitarian law principles, like distinction and proportionality. Military advantage then serves as a critical filter within this framework, ensuring that any destruction or harm caused is not wanton or superfluous. For an attack to be lawful, it must be expected to provide a definite military advantage, meaning it must contribute meaningfully to defeating the enemy's military forces or facilities. This advantage is assessed at the time of the attack by the commander and must be concrete and direct, not merely potential or remote. For military planners, this means carefully evaluating potential targets. They must ask if attacking a specific object or person will genuinely weaken the adversary's military capability or improve their own position. For instance, destroying an enemy command post clearly offers a direct military advantage, as it disrupts their ability to coordinate. However, attacking a civilian factory that might indirectly support the war effort at some distant future point, without a concrete and direct link, would likely not meet the threshold of definite military advantage. This careful assessment helps prevent unnecessary suffering and destruction, upholding the core tenets of international humanitarian law. A key term here is definite military advantage, which has been carefully interpreted over time in jurisprudence and state practice. It emphasizes that the expected gain must be more than hypothetical, ensuring that the human cost of conflict is always weighed against a clear strategic objective. This intertwining of necessity and advantage helps operationalize the principle of proportionality, which balances the expected military gain against anticipated civilian harm. Without a definite military advantage, an attack cannot be proportional, and thus cannot be lawful. Therefore, understanding the close relationship between military necessity as the broad justification and definite military advantage as the specific requirement for each attack is fundamental to upholding the legality and humanity of armed conflict. It guides commanders to make responsible decisions, ensuring that military operations are both effective and compliant with the fundamental protections afforded by international humanitarian law.